Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be reviewing towing with the Tesla Model Y, and this is not my Tesla or trailer. I borrowed these from friends, but I wanted to do a little bit more of a beginner friendly review for those of you that are new to towing and might be considering getting a Model Y to tow. So I actually needed to go pick up my ATV today because it needed some service and also some repairs. A short note that I wanted to add is that we are going to be towing in the alley area, so there is going to be traffic, and it's only going to be a short trip, so this isn't like a long road trip. But yeah, I figured that it's still worth kind of sharing my experience with you guys. When you order a Model Y from factory, you can select a towing package, which includes three things. It is a 2-inch receiver, the wiring for lighting, and you're also going to have a trailer mode software. And there are a few things that you are obviously going to need that aren't included with this package. I highly recommend that you get a pry tool to pull off this cover because it is slightly difficult. You're going to need a ball hitch that is specific to your trailer. Today I need a 2-inch. You're going to need a lock, a light adapter, and obviously a trailer with chains and wheel chocks. So here's a quick little tutorial on how to hook up the trailer to a Tesla. You want to first remove all the locks that your trailer does have, and don't forget to use your pry tool to remove the cover on the Tesla. Next, you're going to attach your hitch to the receiver, and don't forget your pins. Now you want to back up the Tesla and connect your chains in a crisscross motion. Grab your light adapter and connect the lights of the trailer to the Tesla. Now remove the chocks from your trailer and pull it closer to the ball. And just a little tip, you might want to lower the trailer as much as you can to the ball, so that way it's easier for you to lock the latch. And finish lowering the trailer. Once that's done, use your little lock to secure it. This trailer is 12 feet by 5 feet, and that's not including the width of the tires on each side, and it weighs approximately 1,000 pounds. So with that said, let's head on over to go pick up my ATV. So we just got off the freeway, and honestly it wasn't that bad. Driving on the freeway, I was doing about an average like 65-70 miles per hour, and before we started driving we had a range of 293, and now we've gone down to 256 miles. So in maybe about a mile we might be at our destination, and I'll do a little bit of a calculation on kind of what is the actual distance and how much additional range did the Tesla use just because of towing. So let me just finish driving over there, and then let me do that real quick. So I did some quick math, and I thought I was only gonna need 14 miles to get here, because we started off with 293 and now we are at 253. So I ended up using an additional 25 miles in range just to tow an empty trailer. So I'm a little curious now on how much I'm actually going to use in range once I have my ATV loaded up. I couldn't help myself, but I just bought this over the weekend. It's a mini tow hook, and look, it matches! It matches so perfect. So let's go ahead and put that in. And let me tell you guys, this literally comes in handy every single time because somebody always gets stuck in mud. There we go. How cute! All right, we're ready. Yay! Now that my ATV is fixed, I wanted to go over an overview of today's trip. So I wrote some notes down on my phone. So forgive me for trying to reference my phone. But we started off the trip with 293 miles of range. And from this spot to the service department was 14 miles. And the Tesla with an empty trailer ended up using an additional 26 miles of range. I know earlier I said 25, but I messed up by one. And that left us with 253 miles of range. And from the service department to my house is 32 miles, and Tesla ended up using an additional 71 miles of range, and that was with the small trailer and the ATV, and that ended up leaving us with 150 miles left. So by the time I left the ATV at my house and back to this spot, I am left with 89 miles, which means I did not have to go charge today. But imagine if you were towing at max 3,500 pounds, you would have definitely needed to stop for a charge, even for a small trip. My apologies for some of the noise in the background, but I wanted to go into my review now of things that I loved towing with the Tesla. So the first one is how simple it was to kind of connect everything and how easy it was for the Tesla to recognize that it needed to be in trailer mode. Another part that I did love was the cameras. The amount of cameras really helped a lot, not only with the blind spots, but also, but also making sure that everything was still connected, and if anything got loose for any reason, or even just keeping an eye on my ATV and making sure that was still strapped down. So that was another of my favorite things, because I was a little nervous about driving with the trailer and the ATV and just blind spots in general, but that really did help a lot, on top of looking at the mirrors on the side. Another thing is that it was very easy to handle, and what I mean by that is once the ATV was even on there, and again, the ATV is 750 pounds and the trailer is 1,000 pounds, you can definitely feel a little bit of the weight when you're driving, but other than that, it honestly didn't make that big of a difference. It didn't feel like the Tesla was straining or anything like that. So that was a big plus. Also, the brakes on the car work very well. I really like the fact that it didn't take too much force to brake, or even if sometimes I got a little bit near somebody else in front of me because they braked a little too fast. There was no issues with that. So I have zero complaints when it comes to not only driving and also braking with the trailer. On to some of the downsides. So luckily today I did not need to go to a charger, but I could definitely imagine when you're going on a longer trip and you're anticipating, okay, I'm gonna get 300 plus miles out of this entire trip. And to be honest with you, everything kind of affects that, as we kind of saw on today's trip. And what I mean by that is, not only is it, the driving conditions, are you going uphill? Is there a lot of traffic? How you drive, are you driving slow, or are you driving faster than average? And just a lot of things also drain the battery, as well as how much weight are you actually towing. And I see that being a little bit more of a pain once you have to make like multiple stops to charge and unhooking and rehooking everything back up again. But I guess that's just the trade-off of not having to pump gas. Also, some of the charging stations do not have a pull up. So what I mean by that is, like, you can just pull straightly into the charger and you'll be fine. I know that most of them you'll need to back into those. So you'll have to unhook everything, like I kind of mentioned a little bit earlier. But I'm guessing if you just plan your trip, or you're lucky enough where it's on your route to wherever you're going, you might be in luck. But just kind of keep that in the back of your mind. And for those of you that were curious about what was wrong with my ATV, so I mentioned previously that it wasn't starting anymore. I had charged the battery because it was sitting there for a while and it sounded like it wanted to start, but it was still struggling. So the battery was expired, so I needed to replace that. Second, the fuel was old, so I needed to get fuel replacement, as well as not only getting that drained, but it also caused a little bit of rust inside. So that meant that I also needed to replace my spark plugs. On top of all that, I also needed to get the maintenance done. So yeah, I got all that fixed. I'm very happy to get my ATV back after a long time of not driving it. So I'm really hoping that soon I take her off-roading with me. But yeah, that is it for today's video on reviewing towing with a Tesla. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please hit that subscribe button and thank you guys so much. Drive safe out there.